Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, good things come to those who wait, which is basically my douchey way of saying thanks to everyone for your patience as I get my shit together and start casting more and more games. But you're not here to listen to me whine about my life choices. You are here to watch Hera playing as the Ethiopians in blue, getting ready to take on MbL playing as the Malay in red. Now, while the players herd their herdables, explore their explorables, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age, maybe even Castle Age, since we are watching the Malay ASAP, not a bad time for us to go over the two civilizations that we will be watching today. And then one thing that I've really liked doing lately is seeing whether or not there are any of those gold foxes out onto the map. And no, I don't mean those cougars hanging out at nightclubs. I mean actual foxes that get killed, and then your villagers collect gold. Welcome to Age of Empires in 2025, a 30-year-old game that never ceases to amaze. In any event, the Ethiopians, civilization designed to kill its opponents as fast as possible. Their foot archers are the fastest firing foot archers in the game. Their onagers, scorpions, rams, and bombard cannons can all be upgraded to have an even bigger blast radius. And their unique unit, the Shotel Warrior, is a fast, incredibly strong, but on the whole fragile glass cannon of a unit that trains in only 4 seconds once you upgrade it to its elite form. And that helps strengthen the army on the field of battle. Both those Shotel Warriors I just mentioned and their camel units can actually be upgraded to take 3 less damage from all manner of mounted units, both ranged and melee. Now, to support their military endeavors, the Ethiopians do get 100 free food and 100 free gold every single time they go up in age. The second you hit castle, you do get the pikeman upgrade free of charge, which saves you about 300 resources. And their economy should, in theory, be harder to raid because, well, I should say surprise raid, because their outposts come with a massive boost to their line of sight and don't cost any stone whatsoever, which means Hera, yes, this guy, he has absolutely no excuses not to litter the entire map with outposts. Now, who might want to surprise attack our blue Ethiopian, who seems to be housed at the moment, uncharacteristically housed? Okay, well, for a few seconds anyway. We've got MbL playing as the Malay, primarily a naval civilization, but one that comes with a few late-game land features that are incredibly powerful. To start with, their battle elephants get progressively cheaper in Castle, 25%, and then 35% in Imperial. They get all infantry armor upgrades for free, which is great because they can actually upgrade their militia line units to cost only food, no gold. And so while they don't actually get champions, this upgrade essentially turns their two-handed swordsman into a fairly cheap trash unit that costs only food. Now, lastly, to help you raid your enemy's base, maybe do a little bit of damage in the later stages of the game, the Malay can turn to their unique unit, the Karambit Warrior. This is an incredibly cheap... Oh, wait a second. We've got a bit of a skill check incoming here. We've got an isolated villager up to the north. Let's see if Hera decides to apply pressure or just walks away. Break the wrist, walk away. No, he is applying pressure. In any event, the Karambit Warrior, incredibly cheap, very fast, but on the whole, super duper weak infantry unit that only takes up half of population space. Basically, the Age of Empires 2 version of a Zergling. And so when you have 20 of them, they only take up 10 population room. That help you get these late game land features, these upgrades, these powerful units as fast as possible. The Malay do advance to the next age a pretty damn fast, about 66% faster than everyone else. So for example, Hera will need 130 in-game seconds to get up to feudal, whereas MbL only needs 78. So pretty darn fast. Basically means you can rush, try to push out those cheaper elephants, get those Karambit Warriors raiding, or you can build your economy, focus on these beautiful graphics, some stone mining, just relax, have a sip of your favorite beverage, a toke of your favorite whatever, and then rush up to the next age and catch up to your opponent. Those are the two civilizations, two pretty cool, unique units that are, those viewers of the channel, who I should say are still left after my hiatus, know that I love comparing things on paper in this game. And so you have the Karambit Warrior, very cheap, very weak. On the other hand, you have the Shotel Warrior, also relatively not super expensive, not very weak. They attack on him. They probably, what, the strongest attack-wise infantry unit in the game, especially when you factor in taking less damage from mounted units. Although, let's say, just to be safe, because there's always somebody who knows better than me in this game, we'll say one of the top strongest attacking units in the game, but also HP wise kind of flimsy, kind of weak. And so maybe we'll get to see Mass swarms of Shotels take on mass swarms of Karambits. What do Shotels attack on? I think a 16 base and then an 18 when you're elite. An event. Hera doggedly trapped this villager and is not letting her go. Yeah, unless she wants to break this house. And, okay, counter militia on the way. And as I've been blabbing on, we're 30 seconds away from going up to the next age, which is the Feudal Age. And take a look at the villager count. By the way, 19 to 22, although technically 19 to 21, since Hera has done an amazing job of laming this one villager. It's one of those things you always have to take into account, because the Malay can go up a lot faster than you can. They can build that economy up. Although MbL could have also gone up on 19 villagers and got his military up and running. But for now, 0 kills apiece as we enter the 10-minute mark of the game. Both players in Feudal, both players have the exact same army. Both players whatever the term is, each other, whacking each other with billy clubs and tiny little swords. It looks like Hera's scout might be in a bit of trouble here. The HP seems to be fairly weak. And so one more slap with the sword, and down goes the scout. First kill of the game. The Rambo first blood drawn goes to MbL. Our Malay, who now advances with a bit of a smaller army, 3 to 4, although HP wise 140 to 144 once you factor in the scout, even more with the spearman. Oh, there we go, though. Hera says, not on my watch. Bring your militia. My man-at-arms is going to have a field day taking them out, and so now MbL is going to retreat back. Let's remove this fog of war. It's been a while, sorry. My casting may be a little bit rusty. My comments may be a little bit stupid. But doesn't seem like MbL is really interested in his military at all at the moment. He's adding in a single skirmisher. Oh, this is why. There we go. MbL's undertaking a construction project, the likes of which Mr. Yo dreams of. These are massive undertakings here. Villagers being pulled. And again, when you're the Malay and you're up 3 villagers, you can pull 4 or 5 here and there to start walling yourself off. Hera's base completely open, not even trying to wall off. I didn't even have a chance, by the way, to look at where the resources are located and see where the players can apply their pressure, because these two have been just tearing into one another from the very beginning of the game. And I've let's not blame the players. You know what? I'm a big proponent of accountability. You can blame me. In any event, more archers have been added to both players' rosters. Skirmishers, archers, a scout to the north, men-at-arms, and archers to the south. Archers, by the way, with fletching, so they should be able to reach. I mean, even without fletching, should be able to reach these 2 villagers. Is Hera going to notice? Yeah, he's going to notice. He's going to go straight in for them. So maybe not kill them, but he is definitely going to get them off of the wood cutting. Okay. Well, there you go. High ground archer kills a low ground scout, pays for it with his life. And this one guy is going to get run around by this archer as the skirmishers take aim and try to kill him. For his part, Hera of the South has gotten any kills. Okay, he did get 1 kill with these archers. Not a villager, though. And so MbL's lumber camp area is safe and secure. Are the players building any kind of resource bank, anything? Are they trying to rush up to Castle Age? None of them are really training very many units. MbL still maintaining that 3 villager lead he had in the Dark Age. Hera, though, he's starting to get rid of these skirmishers. And once he gets rid of these skirmishers, the archer... I was going to say archers, but I just see 1 here. Okay, here's the second one on the left side. Archers, plural. I'm going to have a field day here because the archery range is all the way to the north and the base is all the way to the south. But MbL with the quick Viper-like reflexes blocks the attempt to enter in through the unprotected northwest. And now Hera is going to have to punch through, or at least walk through, a town center area if he wants to reach this juicy prize here on the bottom left of your screen of these lumberjacks. Okay. Reinforcing units, more skirmishers being trained. Our Malay is going heavy on the skirmishers. Now, skirmishers usually a pretty darn good counter to the archer unit, but the Ethiopian here has 2 things going for him. Number 1, well, I guess 3 things. Number 1, he's got a big meat shield of these Malay men-at-arms. Number 2, he's on the high ground. Number 3, he's Ethiopian. So they fire 18% faster than normal. Naturally, that being said, MbL pulls the villagers, loses 1 villager, and takes out the entire Ethiopian army. Okay. Well, that's how you do it. Hera turns around, says, okay, never mind. My reinforcements are... can you reinforce nothing? If there were still units here, technically these would be reinforcements. But if the army is dead, what are you reinforcing? There's nothing there, right? There we go. Somebody with more... with a stronger, firmer grasp of the English language can let me know whether... Can you reinforce nothing? Right? Like, if I want to reinforce my house, pour some new concrete, I need a house in the first place. I need an army to reinforce if there's nothing there. Anyway, rabbit hole has been gone down. Hera is now trying to bust forget the north. The skirmishers kill the archer to the... hiding in the trees. What are we working with here? Palms? Yeah, palm trees. And another wall off. Is this actually walled in? Okay, no, he adds the stone wall segment. Uh-oh, careful. We've got an Arabian wolf. All of a sudden, in my mind, I'm hearing the Arabian Nights song from Aladdin. Wheelbarrow gotten for our Malay. Wheelbarrow nowhere close for our Ethiopian, who looks like he is rushing finally up to the Castle Age. MbL chasing, MbL gathering resources. Both have 17 villagers on food. The only difference is one player has 400 less food than the other. And so Hera, hounded by nature and by the Malay, is running back home. The archers will take care of the wolf, and then probably the entire army will retreat. That being said, Hera has made no attempt to wall any part of his base in. Okay. Wrong call number 7 of the game. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Imagine you're just a poor wolf. You're hungry. You're in the desert. You haven't eaten in days. And then some bipedal monkey evolved into wearing some armor comes and just whacks you on the head with a sword. Okay, Hera splits his army up. Archers chasing everything. Skirmishers chasing archers, as they probably should be doing. Archers chasing men-at-arms, which is probably should be doing. Okay, he's walling in the front, but ooh, not quick enough. Not quick enough. He almost trapped those skirmishers behind this. Our Malay, even though he was behind, take a look. He's a minute 7 seconds. Hera, a minute 20. Even though he clicked up what seems like light years ahead of his opponent. Nuh-uh. This is something, it's like with the Byzantines and their ridiculously cheap Imperial Age timing. It's like the Turks with their Imperial Age timing. It's like even like when you're playing against the Italians, you always have to keep in mind that they can get there quicker than you. And it always has to factor into your game plan here. Hera just keeps losing these infantry units. But despite an armor upgrade, I don't know that he's necessarily going to keep going infantry. I can't imagine he's going to keep going infantry. He pops out 2 scouts. Ooh! Stuck in an alley. Let's see what he can accomplish here. Archer to the bottom will die as well, even though, again, it's on the high ground. So both players making good use of the hills. The hills and the valleys and the gullies and all that kind of stuff. And Hera's going to clean this up. So now he lost his army on one side of the map. MbL is losing his army on the other side of the map. I don't think either player really minds that much. They're both in Castle Age. Looks like MbL is doubling down on archers. Looks like Hera's going knights as he gets his eco upgrades for his farmers and his lumberjacks in order. He's also building a siege workshop very far away from any kind of MbL vision. So MbL's going to have no idea that this is coming as the cavalry moves forward. Let's take a look, because he did double wall here. And now we're looking at a stone wall in a house, not a flimsy palisade that's on fire. To the north, structures. Now, usually a Castle Age Knight versus a Feudal Age Archer, even an Archer with Bodkin, it's not really a fair fight, but with the numbers, MbL shoos this away. Has he seen? Yeah, he's seen the Siege Workshop. Well, he's definitely going to see having... Part of me, he's definitely seen it now with the outpost. Oh, he jacked his wood too hard. Oh, he jacked it too hard, and he created a gap in his own front forest. That is so sour. You invest so much time, so much energy, resources to wall yourself in. Did I just see a unit from Hera? And then again, you just open yourself up. Is this? No, this isn't open. So how did that scout get into here? Anyway, we'll follow that hopefully in picture. And this is where the Ethiopian bonus, you can see why it's so powerful. Whereas MbL is stuck producing spearmen. If he wants to go up to pikemen, he's going to have to pay for that upgrade. if you're the Ethiopians, you just get that automatically, and so you can just start pumping out pikemen left, right, and center the second you hit Castle Age. Now, to be fair, the Malay are not exactly a late game civilization, whereas the Ethiopians, I dare say, pretty much are, with torsion engines being a huge thing. But if MbL's goal here is to get to Imperial and go Arbalesters, he is certainly building the numbers. No, wrong call, number 8 of the game. We're going Elephants. Good call to stop archer production, especially since 50% of your production output has just been destroyed. Hera continuing to try to bust his way in here, killing more and more crossbowmen. But what is this? We've got a little bit of a band of brothers here. A dozen, a dirty dozen. This is like every fantasy novel ever written. A dozen heroes. Well, I guess 1 hero and 11 companions set out on a journey. This pikeman looks like he's just hanging out. That's what happens when you hang out in Age of Empires. You hang out and then you die. We're up to 2 elephants. Let's see what MbL can accomplish on the other side of the map, because both players have killed 2 villagers. Hera is not walled in at all. I don't know if this is even walled closed. I don't understand. Oh, the 2 pikemen might be a bit of trouble here, but they need to get the high ground. At the same time, Hera is still trying to bust his way in. What are his knights doing? Again, uncharacteristic moves here from Hera. Leaving 1 knight to just die. At the same time, he's just taking out infrastructure, clearing up some space, but here come the elephants. They are 25% cheaper, and Hera's not paying attention. Hera's not paying attention. He's going to lose both mangonels, and once those are done, the threat is basically donezo. The question is, can his knights with their +2 armor take on these elephants that don't even get +2 armor because they're Malay, and when you get a discount in Age of Empires, well, the developers don't like giving you everything for free, so you pay for it with upgrades. These are a lot of knights surrounding 1 elephant on the other side of the map. Hera is hounding, whereas he was hounded before. Now he's hounding these crossbowmen. Okay, well, both players kind of cleaning up each other's armies for the 3rd or 4th or 5th time. He sees elephants, immediately going for the monks, although that might be for relic gathering. And I like that the stable is nice and safe here behind a house, behind the university. What do you really need a university for at this point if you are going elephants? Can't think of a university tech that applies to elephants. Elephant archers maybe, but elephant, oh, he is not letting go. He wants to repair this. 150, 130, 150, 120, 140. I feel like an auctioneer. He's gonna have to bring more villagers. He brings more villagers. Yet another small band. Okay, so the monk is not for elephants, not for relics. Wrong call, number 9. It is for healing the knights. But now he sees, did he see? I don't think he saw those crossbowmen. Maybe he did. Monks do have, he must have seen them coming from this side. Structure destroyed by by his own hand. And now the pikemen are out. Hera has pulled back, which means he wants to focus more at home. Focus more on what? Expanding his economy with a 3rd town center. Hera's villager count, I mean, he's been microing his army pretty intensely. That being said, the kill count is identical in total. MbL has killed 5 times more villagers, 10 to 2, but the total kill count is identical, 46 to 45. Well, almost 47 there. Or 46 to 46, almost there. But Hera is down 22 villagers. MbL, off the back of double town center play, has just been focusing on his economy. Even though he's got more TC idle time, he is ahead about 40% in terms of economy. Doesn't matter though if he keeps throwing away these crossbowmen and Hera keeps healing his knights. Does it really matter? What are you, Mr. Blue Dot? You are a you are a 1 HP scout. What's the point of this? At this point, just kill this unit. This is supply that you need to free up that's doing literally nothing and probably will continue to do nothing. Can he even see the relic? No, he can't even see and protect the relic from any enemy monks. Okay, in any event, we are now getting thumb ring for our crossbows. We are up to 6 elephants, 7 pikemen, 15 crossbowmen. MbL, bigger army. MbL, bigger economy. MbL walled in for another few seconds. You don't want what happened here to happen all over the place. So he's got to be very careful. He's already unwalled over here. This is what happens. And I've said this many times over the years. If in the beginning of the game, it's very, I should say very easy, but it's easier to keep track of your units. your villagers. But as the game goes on, as the fights become multi-directional and micro becomes super intensive, I love MbL leading the knights on a merry chase, a little bit of a loop-de-loop while the elephants close in. You just can't keep an eye on all your villagers, so you need to make sure you remind yourself to check that they didn't jack their wood too hard and leave a gap in your defenses, because then all of a sudden all that energy, all that effort wasted. Like right here, there you go, no more walling to the south, probably no more walling to the north either. Yeah, we saw this part, now there's this part, but does he care? MbL's on the warpath. Does he know that he's ahead? Now only 20% in villager. Hera is housed again. MbL is housed again. Hera's going up to Imperial. Okay, now with this army bearing down on you, you choose to go to Imperial. Well, like I said, the Ethiopians very much a late game civilization. Their siege redonkulous. I'm a fan of Ethiopian camels. I know that's going to get me some flack. They don't have bloodlines. They don't have the last armor upgrade. No bloodlines, no, where am I looking? I don't want to distract from the game. But with royal heirs, I think they're pretty darn cool. Especially against an elephant that has flimsy armor and already just a base of a 12 attack. You're cutting that attack down by 25%, but okay. MbL, ooh, microing his units away from the crossbow, from the mangonel. The second time, he's gonna get that mangonel, or at the very least shoo him away. Conversion here on the right. Oh, he's got a bee in his bonnet for this one. Town center, he gets the conversion, does Hera, but not quick enough. As those two elephants do destroy that TC, the monks on the left side hide in the TC. Hey, get your ass back here. The job is only half done. Penetrating elephant goes down. MbL is on the warpath, and this is why I wonder if he doesn't really care about gaps in his defenses. Now he is just kind of wasting crossbowmen here. EC is down from 1100 to 400. Remember, at 20%, buildings do evict their tenants. More and more conversions. Oh no. 3 conversions. That's a 6-unit swing here. And all of a sudden, our Ethiopian had almost as many battle elephants as our Malay did. He's just not able to get this town center. Town center whose graphics upgrade right in the middle of the battle. He is chasing, do not chase, into the monks. Another converted elephant. This is where the discount comes in. So Hera's an Imperial. What's he gonna do with Imperial? He's getting Bodkin. He's adding more knights. Is he gonna go up to Cavalier? Ethiopians do not get knights. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, they don't get knights, he says, as he highlights the knights. They don't get paladins. They do get decent hussars, though. Again, not good, but in terms of meat shield for your archers and your siege, they do the job. Now he is going Cavalier. More and more red dots are streaming across the map. Hera has lost 25 villagers, mostly in the defense of that one town center. MbL, by the way, is still in Castle Age. He's going after the monastery with 1 relic and 1 monk inside. We've got knights taking on, looks like high ground knights here, equal ground knights over here. In 20 seconds, MbL might be in a bit of trouble here. We go up to Cavaliers. That being said, this elephant still has double the HP of a Cavalier, right? Especially a Cavalier with no bloodlines. These are about as good as Celtic Cavaliers, 120 to 250. Actually, is it two civilizations without bloodlines? Yeah, that's funny. There you go, another similarity that on paper, MbL expanding, pushing more and more. This is why he doesn't care about the wall off. This is why he doesn't care about a few missing trees here and there. Hera has absolutely no ability to counterattack. He's down 40 villagers. That is almost 60% smaller economy. Okay. Now, when your elephants just wander off in the middle of nowhere, that may not be a great idea, but look at the minimap. Look at Hera's base. It has been infiltrated. Now, luckily for him, the TCs are close to one another. They can support one another, and he is attacking pikemen, which are fairly flimsy against arrow fire. But he needs to get the Cavalier numbers up. He cannot compete with a double whammy of a bigger enemy economy and a bigger enemy discount on elephants, because MbL is just going to keep flooding. He is training 3 elephants at a time. I'm surprised they're not, he hasn't castle dropped, or he hasn't dropped any kind of forward stables. He does have the wood for it. But Hera seems to be a little bit on the back foot here, says Captain Obvious. Look at the minimap. There's just battles going on everywhere. Oh, and Hera tries to get the external gold and gets caught out. Will he see the castle? He does see the castle. Will he be able to stop the castle is the question here. The battle inside his base continues. The mining camp is donezo. More and more villagers are being pulled in by that Arabian wolf's cousin. Hey, it was Hera who killed your cousin. Not me, says MbL. Leave me the hell alone. This castle might actually go up. Let's see what's going on inside the base, where things have actually calmed down. Now we're just dealing with a bunch of pikemen, and MbL, this is amazing. They're not going to kill a lot of villagers, he says, as the pikemen kill the villager. But they will be annoying. Oh, MbL. Dick move from everything that everyone has ever told me about this outpost rush. And Hera gets the villager constructing the outposts. I love it. Now, remember, Hera doesn't know that there's like 100 outposts here. He just sees the one. His castle is up. MbL's now laming that TC, so Hera's down to effectively 3 TCs out of 4. Gets another conversion on an elephant. The kill count is rising. MbL's up to 73 villager kills. So the pikemen are softening up the villagers, and then the elephants are coming in and just stomping, curb stomping them. And MbL is still in Castle Age. Wow. Longevity on the battlefield here, going to these elephants. And these town centers can fire as much as they want. They can pick off the straggler, the weaker elephants, but look at how little damage is being done. The elephant is given time for the castle to go up, and now this town center is lamed. He just needs something here to the left, and I believe it should be GG if Hera can't access gold. He definitely doesn't have any food. 0 villagers on food. He's down to 58 villagers. I don't know what else to say. Not exactly the most professional casting here, just sitting going ay as the karambits spawn and the karambits die. Okay, he's gonna try to convert the karambits, but MbL is basically kneecapping his economy, saying no more elephants. What I'm gonna do is castle push into you. So he's taking a crowbar, a Tanya Harding crowbar, to his economy and just buying as much stone as he can. Hera, though, he's being pushed to the north, but there's crossbowmen to the north, and MbL. Wow, all right. Crossbowmen to the north. I mean, there was this siege workshop, and then there was nothing. There was just silence on the map from blue. And Hera just gets enveloped in the warm Malay embrace. So MbL says, hey, I know that late game Imperial Age, I'm not as good as you. So you know what? I'll just stick around in Castle Age. Okay, there we go. This might annoy some people. So I know people really don't like this stuff. I honestly don't, couldn't give a shit. But I know people are really upset and offended when players do outpost rush. It's like one of those things in Age of Empires that's seen as disrespectful. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the fact that MbL Castle Age 25% cheaper battle elephants just swarmed over this base, despite being punctured a few times in a scary push to the north. Not so scary push here to the west. But look at this, completely open. Completely open. Wow, he just didn't care. More pikemen, more elephants. Elephants, which, by the way, are upgraded as much as they can be in the Castle Age. Actually, yeah, you got husbandry. So they are upgraded as much as they possibly can be. They move quicker, they attack a little bit stronger. Armor-wise, of course, again, when you get a 25% discount on a unit in Age of Empires, do not expect it to be a good unit. You are expected for quantity over quality, and man, can the Malay spam crap across the map, whether it's this kind of crap or this kind of crap or forced levy two-handed swordsman kind of crap. They can flood the map, and MbL with 34 army count to 5. Again, the pikemen were so funny to watch because they're so flimsy. Look at this, 2 armor against the TC that was full of villagers. So they basically get 2 or 3 shotted by these full town centers, if not 1 shotted when they're weak, like this guy. No, sorry, not this guy, but hey, you know what I mean. But to just annoy the villagers, to keep them off of gathering food, to poke them, make them, their fight or flight response doesn't exist in villagers. It's a flight. There is never a fight unless you actively make them fight. And so when you poke them with your pike, they run the hell away. They stop gathering whatever resources they're gathering. Fantastic out of MbL. Push, and I was a little bit concerned initially with the crossbowman push. Didn't know exactly what the game plan was. I thought maybe he was going to go up to Imperial Age Arbalesters and try to take down an Ethiopian with the fastest firing foot archers in the game. But no, he proved me wrong for the 19th wrong call of the game. Hera, despite the push, didn't get too much accomplished here to the north with the double mangonel. Also, for some reason, again, uncharacteristic from him to number one be housed multiple times this game, but also uncharacteristic that he didn't catch the two elephants that popped out of here and killed those two mangonels that were here. I guess he was so focused on those crossbowmen not killing his villagers. But at the end of the day, look at the vill kill count, 83. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it. Let's go through the numbers. Cavaliers, elephants, archers, and crossbowmen. Hera with his usual 200 to 300 APM. MbL, a little bit of a chiller game. Let's see militarily what we're working with here. Kill count, about 20% different, 190 to 170. I guess 10-15% difference. Conversions, 11 elephants, pikemen, etc. Crossbowmen, whatever it was, converted. Army high going to our Malay, no surprise there. And we'll take a look, like I saw, the 83 villager kills. And the economy, this is what happens when the entire game, your economy is, what was it, 40 to 60% bigger than your opponent. You end up 16,000, 50%, which I guess is the exact average of 40 and 60, isn't it? Look at me doing math. 33 to 48, about 50% bigger economy for our Malay. Bigger economy, more elephants, cheaper elephants. Wow. MbL showing us that, hey, you know what? Just because your opponent hit Imperial Age doesn't mean you need to panic. Doesn't mean you need to rush and sell and invalidate your strategy. You just keep pumping out units. You double down. That is a valid strategy when your opponent, I don't want to say rushes to Imperial, because Hera didn't exactly rush to Imperial, but is, you know, if you find yourself stuck in Castle Age, especially with a unit like a battle elephant that still on the whole has 250 HP, which is still pretty bonkers, even against a fully upgraded cavalier. Let's say 12 plus the attack is still going to need about 15 to 20 whacks of the sword to kill that elephant, which is a long time for them to being attacked, for them to attack one another. In the meantime, you're starting to spam karambits. The pikemen have done a good job softening up the villagers, and MbL with his Castle Age, let's say push. I mean, I'm looking at the I'm kind of looking at the infrastructure. No real rhyme or reason to this, right? A couple of stables over here, a couple of stables over here. I feel like he just expanded whenever and wherever he wanted to, whenever he could. This, I leave to you to decide what to make of this, but the castle lames this TC, this castle lames this TC, this castle is going to lame farmers, and Hera with no farmers and especially no gold now that he's run out. There's gold over here, but the attempt to take the gold to the south failed miserably. But Hera now with no gold, no food, unfortunately, two resources that you need for Cavaliers just cannot handle the Malay spam. And with that canned spam, it is MbL who takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.